Shut up and sit down.
All right, here we are, back again. Tag team, back again. That's from the 90s. Yeah. Oh, I high-fived
Was that
the
the wrong way?
Do it again to make it work. Nope, the other way. You had it right the first time. I did it wrong.
Okay.
All right, I'm just. Yep, you're leaving me hanging. It's embarrassing now. But we're committed now.
Are we? I've moved on.
I can't. Oh, okay. Whoop, nope, we missed. Okay. All right, it's episode Quattro for those that don't speak French. That is number 4, episode number 4. The Done Deal podcast. Man, we are on a roll. I mean, most people don't even get to number 2. We're on number 4. We've doubled the people that don't get to number 2. Actually, we've quadrupled them. Man, we're doing a lot of math. We're off to an awesome start here. As our long-standing tradition is, and is still standing, we're going to have our coffee time real quick. So, Scott, go ahead and grab that full cup of coffee you have. They're waiting, steaming hot. Mine is coming from courtesy of the local coffee shop here. So, here's to episode number 4. Ah, so good. Hazelnut latte, right? What you got going there? Oh, gosh. You finished it off right there.
Just a bit of coffee. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the straight
regular
coffee.
Yep.
I don't blame you. All right, let's get into it. Start off with the recap. We were at Chicagoland Thursday night in the ARCA series, the ARCA League. We were at Homestead on Tuesday. We'll talk about that just a little bit. But focusing on Chicago right now and seeing some really good racing here. This was a little bit later in the race. We got some other stuff we're going to cover in this race. Real quick, though, we see the 18 there in front of the 79. The 18 is yours to my, not yours truly. That's me. That would be Scott. Any truth to, from what I understand, the team did not approve the sponsor change there, the old Mountain Dew on the 18. Just give us, real quick on that. How did you pull that one off?
Inside deals were made. There's a lot of fine print in my contract, pull strings here and there.
Okay.
Works out.
Well, just make sure you let the team know next time. That's just what the team owner told me to tell you.
Me and the team owner have some issues.
Yeah.
So it's okay. He's made a lot of money from sponsors that we didn't make. So.
Ooh. So we got the 18, the 79 there. See the 28 creeping up. Got old William Kern there in the 31. This was some good racing later on going on. Final results though. Jared wound up second. Finally, didn't win a race. I mean, we like to see our team win, but gosh, that was getting a little bit old. Old Bob Rafferty pulled off the victory. That's y'all's buddy. I know he likes racing with you and Jared. The 28 finished in third. I'll be honest, I meant to look it up before I got up here. Where did you finish? The 18?
I'm insulted. 5th.
That's right. Okay. No, I really didn't look. I had a lot of stuff that I went through here. A lot of behind the scenes stuff going on here. I mean, right now you're beating us. I think you're in second right here because Bob's up there. Yeah. I thought it was a really exciting race. Your thoughts on the racing, apart from something we will probably talk about a little bit later?
Towards the end. This was a lot of fun. This was interesting. I mean, Bob is gone at this point. Bobby out of there. But this was a lot of fun. And this was weird because the first run I had a lot of issues, and then this run was fast. It felt good. And then the last run again didn't feel great. But I mean, 5th place, I'm not complaining. And Jared was typical fast. I don't know why.
Yep. Where did he started Bobby, further back. He had some issues in qualifying, right? And he just did his thing.
Yeah. And next thing you know, blinking, he's there.
I think because we had that long stretch, and then we had some green flag pit stops. If he had a little more time, think he was. I think that kind of got us mixed up a little bit and gave old Bob man. See the 18 coming into pit there. I don't even know if he called that out. But you're right. It was typical Jared again. Like man, he's just a little bit faster there on that longer run.
Yeah.
And
Well, and we were. I feel like our little battling was fun, but Bobby's running away at that point.
Right.
I mean, we're just
we needed somebody
ourselves.
to make a call there. Who's going to lead
And
this
then what is
charge?
this? Holy cow! This gap that he grew within a lap.
Right.
That makes so much more sense now as to why he came out of the pits ahead of me after this pit.
Yeah.
He is. God, I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's just
He's
making us look. I don't have the latest points up, but needless to say, man, I could just record this and play it every week. He's still points leader, even expanded a little bit because I don't think Bob is behind. Well, anyway, Jared's still in the point lead. What else do I have up here? Yeah, we talked about the Mountain Dew. Old Bob. Hey, I think that's Bob's second victory, so he's certainly one for us to keep an eye on. Jeremy was off this week. We had a newcomer to the team. Well, he's not new to the team, but new to the league. Old Mr. J, don't call me Rainus, was rolling in the number 82. I think he had a good time. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. So shout out to Mr. J for a good debut. Brought home the car clean, which was very important. We don't have to spend any money on that. So apart from that, we're still feeling any better about this league? Still no. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Nope.
I know that I wish I had captured some of the clips from our practice time. I knew you were really excited about a lot of stuff that was going on in practice there. You were a little fired up Thursday night. Is that fair to say?
That's an understatement.
And it only gets better later, folks. Just hang on. It's going to get better. Tuesday night in the truck league, we were at Homestead. Gonna have it marked right here. Y'all can go watch the whole race. I cannot stand Homestead, but I can't stand it because I'm not good there, and I knew going into it I wasn't gonna be good. Jared actually didn't do. I don't know where we finished in that, but I know I had some issues later in the race. But go watch the video. I mean, that's what a ad for going and watching the video. It was awesome. So that was what was going on Tuesday. All right, we're gonna move on to explain yourself. We're gonna get Jared on this one, but he's not here to explain himself. So for those that don't know, Jared has had some issues getting on and off of pit road. Sometimes sliding through the pits. Sometimes hitting stationary items that means not moving, for those that are wondering, when he's getting on the pit road. And so needless to say, there was another incident in the truck league, so we're going to see.
Just play it for him.
And there's some commentary at the end. And I love grabbing that cone. I mean, this is a good angle, and I have a theory on what happened there. I'll bring that up in a minute. Oh, and we see the 28 truck got some damage off that cone. That's probably why I finished like 20th. This is in car. What are you doing, Jared? Well, again, I think I have a theory. Oh, look how clean the right front of this truck is too when he's coming in, and then boom, it's game over.
Seeing this footage has raised so many more questions for me
So
that I didn't know at the time.
Here's what I'm thinking, especially on this view right here, the second view. You see the 33 and I think it's Newbrow who's coming in front of him, and they are, for whatever reason, they look like they were about to run into it.
I think the last view shows it better.
Yeah, and then you can just see that it was like he was maybe just following him, but
it looked like everybody was on this view. Everybody's yanking it, like, oh, there's cones. Oh,
sorry.
What's going on? wow,
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad now that I was so hard on him. What is everybody doing?
Right. They almost all ran into it, but here's where Jared doesn't get a bailout. He told us he wasn't paying attention, right? He said
did
during the
say that.
race, I wasn't even looking. You know, Jared
But at
tends
the
to...
same time, it's like normal scenario. All right, you're following the guy in front of you into the pits. You know, I can glance over here, glance down, and I know I'm going to be fine because I'm only going to drift but so much. But when you're following them and they all shoot left because they're like, oh crap, we're all going the wrong way.
Right.
I'm embarrassed for every one of those guys.
One of those guys was fighting for playoffs too. So
what is everybody doing there? That is crazy. Wow. I wish I'd have known this when I'm sitting, because right now here I'm sitting here just. He's like, I just hit the water barrels, and I'm just going off on him. Everybody almost did it.
There was another exciting thing that happens on pit road here. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So I guess Jared's explanation was he wasn't paying attention, but it looks like a lot of people weren't paying attention. You know, I can't say I've ever hit the barrels during a race like that, but you know, it happens. You get distracted.
Time, so
right.
Last time they splashed.
It's becoming a pattern.
But anyway,
we'll have to talk to him about it. All right, we're gonna move on to another explain yourself, and this one's less of a explain yourself and just there was a lot of excitement going on the track. Pretty good, clean racing. So we got Scott here on the inside of the 45. We're gonna let this play out too. Got quite a few angles on this.
This a 3-minute clip.
I didn't realize. Here, we'll just let it go. I didn't realize this was on like lap 10. This was early. So the 40. I did not know that happened.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hear at the end of this. We'll hear you talking as it's happened through the stream.
I don't want to hear that.
Well, it's not that bad. I didn't realize you went down in the grass, so, you know, y'all were about to go, or were going 3 wide, and I don't know if he just... Yeah, here we go. Sorry, let me turn it.
Noted. My goal in this race is no longer to win. It's to get back up to him and spin him out.
Is that Patrick?
Obviously, we know you're not really going to spin anybody out.
I have no other goal in this race anymore. Oh, he's wrecking another guy. Man, he's on fire right now. God, these guys are...
Whoa.
This is my favorite.
60 years old, in their basement. For some reason, I decided to come join them.
And then, you know, you did chase after him for a while here. And
sped up.
seemingly harassing him. What's not harassing him in a bad way, but what's funny is there's a few times here where I'm like, yeah, he could have passed him right there. What's he doing? Oh, he's just, hey, I'm right here, you know. If I wanted to do something, I might do it. So anyway, we've talked about, you know, this for a while. What was going on in your mind?
To give you some backstory, in practice, 3 things. I love the background music. About 3 things happened that immediately fired me up because I was like, just a reminder that everybody in here is an absolute rookie, and not everybody, but the majority of them are just complete idiots. Somebody's doing donut, and I know who. I'm not going to say it, but doing donuts on the backstretch during practice. It's just stupid, and it gets me fired up because I'm like, what are we doing anymore? What are we doing here? So the second he does what he does in the race, I'm already over the line. It's because that's the exact same thing that he did to me in Atlanta. Exact same thing.
Yeah.
We're 3 wide, and he just says, I'm gonna move this guy out of the way because I don't want to be 3 wide. Let me just scoot him into the grass. Exact same thing that he did to me before, and I just had it. And there were a ton of times that I could have passed him there. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That angle looks like I come up on him. But I don't know. I don't like that angle. That angle looks like that's my fault.
I think from here it's much more clear. I'll be honest though, when I was cutting this up, I had no idea this happened. I had heard in my ear that something was going on when you said something about it, but this, and by the way, I got to give you props. I mean, that's a sweet save you had to make right there.
Yeah,
right.
it is.
Noted.
But
Noted. My goal in this race is no longer to
look,
win. It's to get back.
The fact that that's the second time that that's happened, and that, yeah, I don't like that angle. That angle looks.
Angles can be deceiving. So, can we call this the second pass in the grass? Are you good with that? I mean,
I didn't pass anybody.
Yeah.
But Dale Earnhardt didn't either. So.
You're right. Shots fired.
And then he goes on and starts pushing other people around. There were a ton of times I could have passed him there, and I was just, yeah, I was fired up. So I just wanted to hang around him for a bit. But.
Right. And like we said,
Right. Noted.
we said it during the race.
My goal in this race is no longer to win.
I mean, he's fast. I think he's making a mistake where he pushes way too hard ASAP, as in as soon as possible, and then it just burns him up and tends to fall back a little bit. But
I feel like he's sort of thinking and said, I can take advantage of a lot of these people because they're rookies, and he's not wrong.
yeah,
But at some point, we've balanced out, and now we're running green flag laps, and now you just have somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. I don't know.
I always seem to be hearing all these rumors. So any truth to the rumor that, he thinks you guys are tight now because y'all are like, man, this is awesome racing.
I hope not.
This is cool.
I hope not. And watching that first clip makes me think, all right, maybe that's why he pushed me in the grass, because he thought I just came up into him. But
hey, I like it. Benefit of the doubt.
I hope he doesn't think. I want him to know that I don't like him. And then I think he's ridiculous because he's out there not just bullying me. He's bullying a lot of guys out there, pushing a lot of people around, and I'm very sick of it because he thinks, oh, I'm a really high I rating. All these guys suck. I could come in and no, not really.
Hey, you've been known to want to teach lessons before, right?
I have, and the biggest lesson I taught here is he can do whatever he wants to me. He can push me in the grass. I'm gonna finish top 5. He ain't.
Boom.
Don't even know where he finished, but it won't top 5.
All right, so we'll see what comes of this. It's not the first time we've had fun racing with Mr. Cal, so we'll see what else happens down the road. All right, moving on. We got a special rate that. We talked about Jared getting on and off of pit road. I don't struggle with it as much, but I mentioned, or maybe y'all have heard me say before, sometimes I get really easily distracted. There's a lot going on, when you're streaming, you got to think about this, and hey, have I been talking? Let me say something dumb now, whatever it may be. So we're coming into pit road here.
Boxy.
I like it.
I was joking about Jared and the barrels.
Together. Right here. I like it.
They're gonna come in together.
Holy
Sorry, let me start over. Didn't have it up on the screen.
Boxy.
All right,
I
so
like
we're coming in.
50 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, 51 miles per hour, 50 still.
They're gonna come in
Oh,
together.
we might not leave
Why
together.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
I was so relieved
Holy
when they started
smokes,
changing the
dude.
tires.
Somebody clip it.
Look out.
Look at you. Holy cow.
I mean, it's a pretty sweet. Look, I love the boys. They were just like, "Boat? What? No, we don't
They were
care.
probably terrified,
We're
but
nailing this."
just rolled with it. I love those suits, by the way. I'm pretty sure I designed them.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say. I mean,
Boxy.
I mentioned I was
I like it.
relieved
Teammates come in together and lead together.
that I didn't jack that up because.
Well,
Let's see what lap.
Look at that. Wow.
Look at that job. I can't remember if. Yeah, that's a green flag pit stop. If
Lap
that had gone
88.
bad, it would have been bad.
That'd have been game over.
So, if anybody's looking to have a rate that for this particular episode of Done Deal, I want to get a rating on this pit entrance here. I mean, I'm giving that a solid 6.5. I mean, that's got some style to it, especially when you look at it at the low angle like this. I mean, that's like a highlight video right there. That potentially, and I didn't tell y'all this, but Sports Center reached out, and it was gonna be in the top 10 highlights, whatever they do.
It'll be in one of those top 10 lists.
Not top 10.
Are you rating this? Go ahead and rate it. Are you rating it?
Oh yeah, it's a 6.6 for me.
6.6. Okay,
It could be higher, but it's not just because I know I didn't do it on purpose. If I'd done it on purpose, you know.
It would have been higher.
So I'll knock it down a little bit because I didn't do it on purpose.
This reminds me of the All-Star race when they used to do these fast pit stops.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that job.
I'm not going to rate your pit entry here. I'm rating the boys and their pit stop here because this is a 9. Easy. 9.5 pit stop because they saw you coming in here 50 miles per hour, 2 boxes away, fly in there, didn't bat an eye. They just shook their head and rolled with it. And boom, you're gone. Didn't lose an ounce of time. Probably was a faster pit stop. But look at them. No fear. They're like, okay, that's what he wants to do.
At all. Okay, I like that.
I mean,
I'm going to make a note. I need to talk to the team again and let
props
them know.
to the guys for that one because that was horrifying. And they just rolled with it. I mean, I'm sure right here, you're leaving. They're all sitting there talking like, holy crap, guys.
Yeah, did he almost kill us?
Right. But nice job. Nice pit stop. Fastest one of the day. I mean,
they were high-fiving.
Wow.
You better believe.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, well, let's take a look into the future. Looking at next week, the Tuesday Night League is coming to an end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is it. Wow.
Championship week.
Yep. So we got our final 4. We're going to be at we're at Atlanta. I don't know if it's the new or the Legacy. Doesn't really matter. Here's where I'm at with this. This is the real, just like NASCAR, final 4, whoever does better. I mean, there's some points involved, but pretty much whoever does better is going to win the championship. As we've said before, we're not in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we've been doing better lately. Here's where I'm at. Do we ride or do we race?
I'm going to go ahead and answer that for you. You ride. You do not race.
Yeah.
Because you, in particular, are one to want to race around these guys while they're trying to. You're racing for a stage win at Dega versus guys that are competing for playoff spots. You're just out there for a stage win. Means nothing. You're just like, we're going to win this for fun. Let them do their thing. All right. Just hang out. You don't even need to qualify. Just let them do their thing.
I think you're right. And I've thought about this a lot.
It's like an unwritten rule and some respect there. How much respect do you have for these guys?
So in NASCAR, I don't want to be one of those, I don't like the playoffs, not like it used to be. But when it gets to that last race, for me, I cannot stand when it's the 4 guys are in the top 4, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel like true
but at the
competition.
Same time, it's like a level of respect. You don't want to be the guy that's up there racing.
Right.
One of the guys that's running for a championship. Even if he's slower, it's almost like this means nothing for me and the guys. We're going to be known as the guy that was up there causing trouble for these two. That's not really. Now, yeah. I'll ask this. I mean, it's all a matter of respect. Don't, without saying names here, the homie that pit during closed pits. Remember that whole thing? Did he make it? That's
no,
all I want to know.
He didn't. I looked it up because I thought if he did, we might have to bring it up.
All right. Then yeah. I mean.
So what I was going to say is when I'm watching it, I don't like it, and I don't like that everybody else lays back. But not that this is real, but it is real. Being in that situation now, I'm like, no, there's no way I'm going to get up there and race with them.
Right.
And what you even said about qualifying, I'm like, I don't even want to qualify. I'll cruise around. I don't want to be. Not that I don't think we could race with them and not get in the way, but I don't
Right.
even want to have any influence on it. Like, oh, you held me up for half a second there. Yeah, so I can understand it, but for a fan, let's say, or for watching it and wanting the good competition, I don't know. But
I get that, but you're racing for fifth. I think fifth is a win because you don't need to be up
oof,
there
I'm writing
fighting
that.
with those
I'm
guys.
taking notes again. Fifth is a win.
Fifth is a win. In your book at this
Never
point,
has that been said, but
I
you're
think
you're
fifth
right.
is a win.
That's gonna be our new
No,
motto going
no need.
forward.
Well,
We're gonna put that on the outside of the building and on the back of all the cars.
well, in
Fifth is
that
a
case, I
win.
won last week. I won this past Thursday.
Well, it just started this week though, so sorry.
I should have said it prior.
Yeah. The Thursday night league is actually off. The following week will be at Watkins Glen, which is that ought to be interesting with that group of drivers. Hey, maybe they're all road course folks, and that's been the problem all year. I don't know.
Maybe.
But since we are going to have some time off, that means vacation time again. What kind of big plans do you have? We know you went and saw the whales inland in Canada, I believe,
right.
and they
That's
were all
right.
dead because they were inland. So,
That's right.
any big plans this week while you're off?
Yeah, so this week we're gonna do the opposite. Instead of going inland, we're going into the ocean.
Outland.
Outland.
What did you say?
I'm gonna go check out the Titanic. That should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
I heard there's a lot of fun stuff to do with that. Yeah, so.
I think you gotta have like a scuba diving license or something for that, right? Like you go underwater to see it?
No, I can swim.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I know how to swim.
Okay, my bad. I thought you were one of the
yeah.
non-swimmers.
No. I know how to swim, so that should be fun.
What part of the world is that in?
Atlantic Ocean.
Ooh, so pretty easy to find.
Yeah, well, we were planning on taking off from New York like they did.
Ooh.
And just swim.
You're gonna do exactly what they did. The iceberg is probably still out there, so just hit it. You'll know.
Probably. It's one of those. Yeah.
Go down from here.
I see it. We're about a mile away.
Sweet.
Yep. And just swim it.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It will be. Yeah.
And if you see whales along the way, bonus.
Well, they're inland, so.
That's right. Gosh,
I heard James Cameron is down there still.
Ooh. Okay.
Don't know what he's doing, but.
He's probably building an international substation instead of international space station. Yeah.
He likes to hang out down there, and so maybe we'll get to see him too. That'll be cool. I'll ask him about the whole Avatar 2 thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be good stuff.
I can't wait to get your trip report off of that one. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. TripAdvisor. I'll post the review on Yelp. Titanic. 4 out of 5 stars. Wasn't floating. Weird for a ship. Yeah, that's good.
What did you say?
I mean, you can't get 5 stars if you're under the water.
True.
You have to hold my breath.
True. Oof, I hope you're a strong swimmer. Okay.
What are your plans?
So I've actually it's kind of embarrassing to be honest with you. Yeah. We had to fire the guy who cleans up the shop and the bathrooms and keeps the kind of the building here at B&H Racing cleaned up. So me being, the boss, like y'all like to call me, I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to do a staycation. I'm camping out in the shop. I'm cleaning the bathrooms. I'm mopping the floors, shining up all the rims on all the cars because I know y'all like for them to be shiny. I'm taking one for the team, let's say.
Wow. I really thought you were going to say, I'm going to hang back and hire another guy to do all that stuff as the boss.
Well, times are tight. We're losing sponsors because of some of the on-track incidents we're having. So times are tight.
If Kyle Busch can find a sponsor, we can find a sponsor for our 18, I think. We'll be good.
That's true.
How many times have we fired that guy now? Seems like he's been around the block.
Yeah. Well, he always weasels his way back in.
Somehow.
All right, moving on to Around the Garage. We're going to start off something we started last week, a little bit of some kind of auto racing trivia. You will appreciate this one, Scott. I promise.
Okay, heard.
Did you know back in the day when they were coming up with the acronym of NASCAR, that actually wasn't the first choice? The first choice, and I'm going to my notes here, pulling the old Tony Kornheiser. The first choice was actually Raxan. That's Raxan, R-A-C-S-A-N. Racing auto cars simply accomplishes nothing. Apparently, they got in front of, they got in front of the board and they're like, hey, we got it. It's awesome. Raxan. They looked around and one guy raised his hand. He said, no, flip that thing around. Flip it around. They wrote it on the board, NASCAR. And then they just made up something about National Auto Stock Car Association Racing. My vote would be for Raxan. If you had been in the board meeting, which way were you going?
If I was in the board meeting, I'm coming up with a whole new idea. I think they're all dumb ideas. I think we just go tell people we got a bunch of bootleggers out there racing on a track. We just gave them a circle.
Gotcha.
I mean, because that's where it came from, right? They're running from the police.
True that.
Moonshining and stuff. Just tell people what it is.
There's some people these
Acronyms
days
are
that
so
don't
hard.
like NASCAR, and they're like, we like the other one because it accomplishes nothing. Simply accomplishes nothing.
Well,
So.
I don't think any of them accomplish much, but
I mean, if you think about it, they end up at the same spot they started. They expended a lot of energy. So that's the racing trivia for episode number 4. I hope y'all appreciate that. NASCAR, don't come at me. Real quick, I don't know if you know this. Formula One's going to Las Vegas next year, 2023.
I've heard.
Should be exciting. The track layout, a little sus. They say it's already advantageous for Red Bull because there's a lot of long straights. But another rumor we got to address here, though. Any truth to the rumor? Now, Jared told me this, that you got offered tickets from Drinking Bros Racing to go to the Formula One race. What's up with that? True, not true? And if you're going, can you get me a ticket?
I don't think that I could even name one of the Drinking Bros Racing guys. Is that Eric and those guys?
I like the way you're playing this. Like, who? I don't know those people. That's one of them.
They may have reached out to a few of us on the team, and it may be what we discussed in our private team meeting the other day without the team owner there. But I mean, I don't. Who are those guys? I don't.
Yeah, good.
BRB.
I like the way you're playing it. That's good.
BR.
So if I'm there, I will not see you there, right?
I will make sure of it.
Okay, good. Little stuff we're hearing around the garage. We mentioned that Rainus Reigns made his debut. Question mark on did he do enough to continue? I believe he did.
Nightmare of a nickname.
Yeah. So we're going to see if he's around in the coming weeks. Keep that in mind. I feel like I need to address, I meant to talk about this in the beginning, but normally I don't wear a shirt and tie like this. But coming straight from the B&H Racing board meeting, Scott, didn't see you there. They wanted to know where you were. Normally you're in attendance. You don't get to sit at the table, but you're sitting around the edge. So I didn't want to throw anybody off with the shirt and tie, but want to make sure they knew why that was. Were you otherwise occupied?
Jared wasn't there, right?
Good question. I wasn't looking for him.
Okay. But you're looking for me.
True that.
Okay. Noted. Win a bunch of races. Nobody cares what you do. Heard.
You're probably right. Hey, the cowbell. The bell cow. That's the right term. Wow. That was a Scottism right there. Jared's the bell cow right now. So he kind of gets to do what he wants.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Before we go, I want to thank our sponsors. I don't have the list written down here. Anybody got that? Oh. Okay. No sponsors to thank. We haven't got the sponsors yet for the Done Deal podcast. All right. We're going to wrap it up. Episode number 4. Scott, I'm throwing it to you. Any final thoughts?
Rattle his cage.
I like it. That's a good recap on what we saw throughout this episode. Was that a command, a suggestion on action? We'll have to leave that till next time. All right. For Scott, I'm Charlie. This was episode 4, Done Deal Podcast. Y'all come back and check us out. Hope y'all appreciated every. That was horrible. May or may not cut that out.
I'll send them out.
Go ahead.
Thank you, everybody, for joining the Done Deal Podcast. We'll be back next week. See ya.
See ya.